Okay, let's dive into Marie Skłodowska Curie. I mean, everyone knows the name, but the story,
Mm.
it's more than just the prizes, isn't it?
Absolutely. 2 Nobel Prizes, different fields, physics and chemistry. Nobody else has ever done that. But for this deep dive, we really want to trace how she did
Right, the journey itself,
it.
from, well, being shut out of university in Poland.
Exactly. Barred from higher education there to becoming this towering figure. We're looking at her path, the actual science, what she did, and crucially, what her resilience means for us today, especially, dealing with bias.
So we'll look at her early drive, that core scientific breakthrough, and how she handled the, frankly, insane resistance she faced.
Let's start early. Maria Skłodowska, born in Warsaw, her parents were teachers, part of the Polish intelligentsia, but this was under Russian rule after the January uprising.
So a tough environment. Smart kid, though graduated top of her class in '83. But then she hits that wall.
The systemic wall, yeah. Women couldn't go to university in Poland at the time. Full stop.
So what does she do? Give up.
Not a chance. She works as a governess, saves money, even teaches peasant children secretly, using trouble, and she gets involved with the Flying University.
Ah, the underground education network.
Right, a clandestine way to get knowledge, bypassing the official Russian system that excluded people like her, shows incredible determination already.
And that determination gets her to Paris in 1891, the Sorbonne.
Yeah, but picture this. She arrives, she's one of only, 23 women studying science?
Out of nearly 2,000 students.
Exactly, almost 1,825 men. And yet, she doesn't just survive, she thrives. Graduates first in physics, second in maths.
Just phenomenal focus. Okay, let's get to the science. 1897, she starts her doctorate. And she picks a pretty obscure topic.
Sort of ignored, yeah. Becquerel rays. Henri Becquerel had discovered them, but everyone was much more excited about X-rays at the time. These rays were a bit of a puzzle.
And she needed a special tool to investigate them, this electrometer. Why was that so important?
Well, she and Pierre Curie developed it. It used piezoelectricity crystals generating charge under pressure. It was incredibly sensitive for the time.
More sensitive than other methods.
Much more. It let her measure the really faint electrical charges these rays produced when they ionized the air. And measuring so precisely led her to a huge insight.
Which was?
That the strength of the radiation didn't depend on the chemical compound the uranium was in. It only depended on the amount of uranium.
Okay, so it wasn't a chemical thing.
Exactly. It had to be coming from the uranium atom itself, an intrinsic property of the atom. Before Curie, atoms were mostly thought of as indivisible fundamental blocks.
So she's basically saying, nope, there's stuff going on inside the atom, and that's where this energy comes from.
That's huge.
It redefined matter, fundamentally. And this realization kicked off the hunt for new elements. Minerals like pitchblends were way more radioactive than pure uranium should be.
Meaning there must be something else in there, something very radioactive. Right. So began the famous labor, processing literally tons of industrial pitchblende waste. Not in some fancy lab either.
In that shed, right? The leaky, drafty shed.
Yeah. Grueling physical work to isolate tiny amounts of these unknown substances. That's how they found polonium, named after Poland, and then radium in 1898.
And that work eventually leads to the Nobel Prizes. Physics in 1903, shared with Pierre and Becquerel.
And then chemistry in 1911, just for her, for isolating radium. You'd think that would cement her status.
Apparently not. The resistance continued.
Unbelievably, yes. That's where the lesson in resilience really hits home. Even after 2 Nobels, she was narrowly rejected from joining the French Académie des Sciences in 1911.
Rejected after 2 Nobels.
Yep. And around the same time, she faced just vicious attacks in the press over the Langevin-Affäre, xenophobia, sexism. They called her a foreigner, an intellectual, strained woman. It was brutal.
So how does she respond to all that hostility? Did she fight back?
Not by wasting energy trying to win over the establishment, really. When World War I broke out, she shifted focus entirely. Practical application.
The Petites Curies, the mobile X-ray units.
Exactly. She developed about 20 of these Runton wagons, equipped them, drove them near the front lines herself sometimes, and trained around 150 women as technicians to operate them, saving countless lives by locating shrapnel.
So, using her scientific knowledge for immediate human need, rather than fighting for academic validation at that point.
Precisely. And later, at the Radium Institute she founded and directed, she made a point of fostering talent, specifically supporting women and foreign students. People who face the same kind of barriers she did.
She built her own, more meritocratic system within her sphere of influence.
She did. But the pioneering work came at a terrible cost. Her death in 1934 from plastic anemia, almost certainly due to her long decades of exposure to radiation.
A profound sacrifice for discovery. So looking back, determined student, groundbreaking scientist, double Nobel winner, wartime innovator, mentor.
An extraordinary legacy. And maybe the core question her life leaves for us, when we face resistance or systemic barriers.
Yeah.
Are we spending all our energy trying to get validation from the existing structures, or are we focusing, like Curie seemed to, purely on doing the work that matters, the work that actually changes things, regardless of who's trying to keep the door shut?
A powerful thought to end on. Thank you for this deep dive.